Hi everyone, Matt Bernier here in the Daily Racing Form Studios, joined by DRF's national handicapper Mike Watchmaker. We're taking a look at this weekend's Weekend Warrior for Saturday, October the 7th. It is opening weekend down at Keeneland. 2 races from Keeneland, 1 from Belmont Park. Let's start off with race number 5 down at Keeneland's the Grade 2 Woodford. Mike, it's a 5.5 furlong turf sprint. You've got a field of 9 in here. Presumably some of these horses hopeful for the Breeders' Cup turf sprint at Del Mar in a few weeks. You're going to go to the inside with a major turn back in Conquest Panthera.
I am. I have really no clue, and I don't think anybody else does, whether or not Conquest Panthera is a true turf sprinter, because he's never gone as short as 5.5 furlongs in his career before. But, I think he's taken a major class drop in here. I think he's consistently run against better horses. And I was really impressed with his race 2 starts back. That was to play the King Stakes. It was a Weekend Warrior race, and I picked Dowse's Beach in that race. And Dowse's Beach was an absolutely raging form at that time, and he got, as I expected him to, completely loose on the lead in that race, and he was in total control of the pace, and the pace was not particularly fast. And Conquest Panthera still came and caught him, and I thought it was a very strong performance on his part. He was run back in the Grade 1 Woodbine Mile last time. But in any case, I was really impressed with Conquest Panthera running down Dowse's Beach, considering the circumstances of the Play of the King. And then Conquest Panthera was run back in the Grade 1 Woodbine Mile last time out, and he was definitely over his head in that spot, especially being against the streaking World Approval, who's currently no worse than the second best turf horse in North America. And to his credit, Conquest Panthera was part of the a strong early pace in that race, and he was still a contender to deep stretch before weakening. He's got some back races that are more than good enough to win that race, including the only race he ever ran on the Keeneland turf course, and that was in the Grade 1 Makers 46 mile in the spring, and he was third, beating only a neck for all the money in that spot. So, I think there's plenty of pace in this race to set this race up to be won from off the pace. And I think Conquest Panthera, I think a significant class drop can be the one to do it.
There are a number of proven turf sprinters in here, as you brought up the question about Conquest Panthera, possibly at 5.5. Horses that it won't be an issue for: the 3 Commend, the 6 Mongolian Saturday, as well as the 8 Hoagie. Hoagie's coming into this off the heels of a Grade 3 win in the Kentucky Downs turf sprint. Of those other sort of contenders, anybody else interest you?
Well, Hoagie's absolutely the one to beat here. There's just no question about it. I mean, he's been a rock-solid turf sprinter for a while now, and he was claimed 2 starts back by Mike Maker. And Mike Maker in recent years has just built up a terrific record, winning graded turf stakes with horses that he acquired through the claim box. And Hoagie was another one. I mean, he claimed him for $80,000 at Saratoga off a losing effort at odds on, and he came back and he won the $400,000 Kentucky Downs turf sprint. So they're out and over with this horse. And I expect, even though he's 8 years old, to Hoagie to run amongst his better races in this spot. And he's a closer, and the race sets up for him too. And I think he's very dangerous in here. But I do believe he's going to be the favorite. Commend. Cutting back, he was narrowly beaten second to Hoagie at Kentucky Downs last time out. I think the cutback from 6.5 to 5.5 furlongs is right in his wheelhouse. I think he's a legit contender. The horse I'm against is Mongolian Saturday. Even though he did upset the 2015 Breeders' Cup turf sprint on the same Keeneland turf course that he's going to run on Saturday. And it looks on paper like maybe Mongolian Saturday turned in an improved effort last time out, went second in the Turf Monster Stakes at Parks. I don't think that was necessarily improved effort. I think that race came up really soft with the way it was run. It seemed like there were about 8 or 9 horses all within a length of each other at the wire in that race. And I really think the race kind of tied up and fell apart in the late stages. And it made some horses' efforts in that race look better on paper than they actually were. So Mongolian Saturday is the one I'm against. I'm hoping with Conquest Panthera I can get a little bit of value in the spot.
Race number 5, Keeneland Racecourse, opening Saturday of the meet. Mike's going to go with the number 1, Conquest Panthera, in the Grade 2 Woodford, going 5.5 furlongs on the turf for Mark Cassidy and Robbie Alvarado. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the second of 3 for this Saturday's Weekend Warrior. We go north to Belmont Park. 2-year-olds, it's the Champagne.